and just a little. You can tell it's still sunshiny. Off to the west, but to the east, it's coming at us hard and heavy. All right, so here's Rebecca and I. We're standing at Reuben Rice's and Rice Upshaw. And what is it? This is some kind of trading center of some sort.
This is the pavilion, the Lee and Samantha Rice Pavilion.
This is where they have their educational centers where they teach children and adults about the time period that this was here.
The first settlers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we're related to.
All of it.
Because we're one of Reuben Rice's relatives.
Yeah.
He was our...
I don't know. We're great grandchildren.
Great grandchildren. Okay, so this is how we got here. First it was Hernando de Soto with the Spaniards. Then it was the French traders. And then along came these people in these wagons. Namely, 3 of our relatives, William Looney and Fielding Stubblefield and his brother Coleman Stubblefield. This is the part I'm kind of interested in because, well, being a direct descendant of Reuben and knowing that the 3 families were the only families here for a short time, being the first settlers, they had to have so many skills to make it work. And they had large families. I mean, most of the siblings had no less than 4 children, but most of them had more than that. And they settled on both sides of the 11-Point River. One of them had a tavern on one side, and the other had a store on the other side of the 11-Point River. And of course you can see that they were blacksmiths, carpenters, weavers, and distillers. And so I found that this is on my mother's side of the family, but if you see this Edward Hudson, he's also kin to me on my dad's side of the family. So it is totally interwoven on both sides. I don't know exactly who's buried there, but there's another one on the other side of the tree. Alright, so now we're going to go up into the first log cabin built by Reuben, and his family lived here. So they've got some of the things that were relevant to the time. It took many, many people to restore this log cabin and research all of the history and try to understand what was going on at the time of the build and what was going on with the community, and researching some of the cemeteries and things like that to find information. And so this is Reuben Rice and his wife Lydia Shaner and their children standing in front of that cabin where Rebecca is standing. These are the types of fences that you would have found because they had to have something to keep animals out of their yard or as protection. So right beside the Rice Upshaw home and barn and corn crib, I think it is the Upshaw Cemetery. And there's the barn or corn crib, I guess you'd call it. Not really sure. We know that on my dad's side of the family, we're related to Isham Alcorn, which is the one that first owned the land where we're living at. And his wife, Pramila, had a loom in the upstairs of the first store. And she's one of the weavers that sold materials there at the store, and she bought her fabrics in Supply, Arkansas. Chris is showing us what one of the beds was made like, and the floors and everything in the building was made without nails. Some of the fabrics and the butter churns and a secret hiding place. We did climb upstairs so that, because she told us about when they had to redo it, that they left the markings on the log beams.
I don't know. It's just really cool. It is. And of course, all the artifacts and like I said, the loom and all that stuff, they're at Black River. So you got to go there and make that a day trip sometime. Yeah.
There goes Mikey, working on the road. I've been working on the front rock. You can see I've weed eated around it, and I've got some echinacea that I'm gonna put my grandmother's, well, my grandmother's or my great grandmother's wash tub right there where that divot is, and I'm gonna fill it with topsoil and some new dirt and potting soil, and I think I'm gonna plant that echinacea in it and plant some seeds, like pumpkin seeds or something. I don't know yet, but so I'm working on the front entryway, trying to make it a little more inviting, because Mike's been working on the grass. You can tell the grass is looking so good compared to what, 3 months ago when it was all dirt, and I showed you pictures of Mike using the tractor and the blade and scraping it completely barren. So this is 3 types of Bermuda grass that he planted on this side of the driveway. first step to making hot pepper jelly, I have washed the peppers and I'm cutting them up, and I'm going to save the seed core so that I can plant the seeds from the bell peppers. I'm trying not to waste any of the pepper. Okay, with this batch of hot pepper jelly, I'm going to use the grande hot peppers that I got out of our garden. So I've got the hot peppers de-seeded. I saved the seeds so that I can plant them again next year or even in the fall. And I'm going to get these chopped up a little bit finer so that they will have an easier time in the food processor. Next, I'm going to cut up a lemon, and the lemon has acid and it also has pectin in it. That's going to help with our the flavor, and it's going to help with the hot pepper. I'm going to sterilize the jars. I'm going to put the lids in the bowl for some really hot tap water, and the jars I'm going to put in the dishwasher and put them on a sanitize so that they will be very, very hot after I get the jelly cooked on the stove. And a big thank you to my mother-in-law, Pat, for letting me use her food processor so that this will be a lot easier than it would have been if I had had to use my blender. So I'm going to be pureeing the green peppers first. Okay, as that goes, I couldn't get the food processor to come on, so I'm going to be blending and trying to puree it in the blender. Boy, is it getting foamy. Next, I've added the hot peppers and the little red bell peppers. And I'm adding the lemon. And then I'm going to add 2 cups of apple cider vinegar. That looks pretty. Okay, I'm going to put that mixture in the pot, and then I'm going to add the bell peppers. I added 2 boxes of Sure-Gel pectin to help it form the gel. I waited for the boil, and the next thing I'm going to do is add the sugar. I added half the sugar, trying to get a consistent rolling boil so that I can add the rest of the sugar. Okay, so I used a pitcher, just like a regular drinking pitcher, and got the boiling bubbly liquid out of the pot. That way I could pour it into the jars without making a mess around the rims and not have to worry about cleaning it up while I'm trying to get the rest of them filled, because you really don't want the liquid to be, the jelly to cool down. It needs to stay at a high temperature. And I pulled the lids and the rings out of the hot water that I rinsed off the lids and the rings again and put fresh hot water, really hot tap water. So they were warm too, and I've inverted them so that they will seal faster. I'm gonna leave it like that for about 5 minutes or so. And then I'm gonna flip them back over and start listening for the pop sound that lets me know that they have sealed or not. But I love the color. Look at the color of the jelly. So beautiful. Okay, so Mike has offered to be my taste tester. Say a little prayer.
That's because she's scared too.
Yes, I am. And I did label it. One is with,
Well, don't tell me.
well, it's on the plate. So,
Good.
that one's without the garlic.
Better.
Really?
Really good.
Wow.
I like that.
Okay. All right. I planted echinacea, mustard seeds, turnips, marigolds, and zinnias in my grandmother's and great-grandmother's old wash tub. Big Rose, say hi. He keeps messing up my filming. Every time I go to turn it on, he bumps into me. Like that. He's like a rock hound cat. He chases the rocks when Mike throws them. Well, some of the time anyway. Oop. watermelon. Little baby watermelon. And blooms, it is just taking off. And I don't know when these marigolds are going to bloom, but I have watched them and watched them and watched them. They've gotten big, but nothing yet. So we'll see. And the zinnias, it's good. And that little flower that I transplanted is coming back out, but it's taking time. And that's where I planted that avocado seed. It's split open, but I don't know if it's just because it's rotting or what. I transplanted a marigold over here with the three sisters to help them fight the bug problem, because we have one. Hoping the neem oil will help. And the basil is just blooming and blooming and blooming. So beautiful. And there's the garden. And it's getting all lit up tonight. Mike has been helping our brother-in-law to load the hay onto his trailer. It takes many, many loads. Figure out a way to keep the grass and the weeds are just, look at it, ugh, growing around my fruit trees. So I think that I am going to nail that down. I've got the rocks there just to hold it down until I get the nails in it. And hopefully that will keep the weeds out from around the fruit trees. Okay, day one of putting the new raised beds together. And I've got 2 going and 1 that's almost finished, so I've got half of them done on the first day. I'm gonna add 6 more to my 3, and I'm gonna do some, hopefully, do some fall planting. So, here we go. Mike's doing some mowing. Learn more about these Vajayga raised beds, I encourage you to go to the YouTube channel called Living Traditions Homestead, because they bought 21 of them, and they also bought the corner ones for their herbs and spices and things. They have a larger garden than we do, and they go through the whole thing, all the steps to put it together and the information, and that is where we learned about this system. And as you can tell, it works rather well. So I am very pleased with them and so excited to put in 6 more of these raised beds for our fall garden. I'm going to work on that section of our yard right there, because that's where the compost is. I need to get a compost bin, but I kind of want that to look a little bit better. That's the view that I have looking out from the living dining area outside, and so I'm gonna spruce it up. So it's a little better, a little cleaner looking anyway.